the official tally of deaths in China since COVID started back in 2019.
Hey, and welcome everybody to another live stream. Probably the last one before Christmas. The Mohawk team is back after we've been away traveling and trading from different parts of the world. We are now back, and we're going to be tackling the New York Open. And Justin is here, silent at the moment, but he is here in the background, trading from Texas. So yeah, we've got about 8-9 minutes to go. We're just watching US 30, watching gold, and watching the pound dollar, and we've got some new indicators and new setups that we've been having good results with. But if you want to join the group, then go along to www.mohawkforex.com, and we're all about true scalping in and out of the market, multiple trades, not hanging around, and fundamentals are included in that. We just listen to Bloomberg as well for the bigger news. We've got the housing market index coming up in about 37 minutes. Which will be a nice one to trade if we get a move on gold or US 30, but we're all about the open. As we had a nice little bull run, and then we kind of flatlined, went into a range. We've had a sell-off, so we're back to where we started pretty much just before London Open, the end of Asian session. Prices come all the way up and all the way back down again. So now it's the move for the New York Open, which they're saying futures are looking up. But we could see whether there's manipulation. This breaks down to the next level on our grid. We've got some heavy support here, look. So I can happily put a line across this. And then above there is my resistance level if it breaks out of our blue zones, which is our smaller time frame. We look at the 1 minute in combination. Same chart in the 5 minutes here, look. But we just got to drop to 1 minute, our usual 1 minute chart. As we're looking to, we've got a buy, but we're just running to resistance at a 50 moving average, and that's below the side dot, as you can see. So there's no buy at the moment. Just wait for the open to play. What I usually do is I use the 1 minute really for looking to pick out reversals. Kind of going on the trade on the 5 minutes with the direction. And we've got some nice moves here. We've got a potential of 50 pips to the top side, and if we break, then we've got to move off, you know, best part of 120 pips to the downside before we hit some heavy support. We have got a level here actually that I'm going to actually stick on the chart, which is here, look. So that's more likely to be the first level of rejection if we get a sell-off. We'll see if we get a buy signal on the open.
Beautiful commercial yesterday, Damien, for football. Oh, what a final.
So, you know, Jonathan, this is where Fox really lost me yesterday. As soon as the finals were over, they cut away, Jonathan. They cut right away to American football, which, you know, look, I'm a huge football fan. I'm out about that. But I mean,
just look at these settings.
I want to see him and Mbappe embrace. I want to see him change shirts. We got to see none of that. I was looking around.
You had to change the channel. I had to do the same thing.
I couldn't find it.
Ridiculous. Damien, thank you, buddy. Always great. Coming up the morning calls and later. Morgan Stanley.
Smart appliances promise to make our homes greener.
To protect our planet, Samsung will continue to introduce innovative technology
Please, Hang
to
Sung.
help consumers live a sustainable life.
Here's your index. Say we've just got 5-6 minutes yet to go. Just messing around with some settings on Discord, so forgive me if I'm silent for a minute. Select input device.
After hardly a full year of name, image, and likeness deals being a reality, UCLA quarterback Chase Griffin already has more than 20 deals with major brands, venture, and charitable groups, all while balancing graduating undergrad in just 2 years and fighting for playing time on the field.
Chase Griffin out of the gun. We are joined by UCLA quarterback Chase Griffin. Not just UCLA quarterback, but name, image, likeness superstar. I am psyched for this one.
You there?
This kid could actually be the president of the United States someday.
When it comes to building generational wealth, it's not about the money that you make in college. I'm very excited that I made the amount.
Cool. So I'm just checking the settings just while we're waiting. Just while we're looking at the chart. Oh, we've got a buy signal, you see. That's nice. That's what we like to see. Let's see if it's going to reject before pushing up would be nice. Profit at the KG line would be advisable.
When innovation strikes, Bloomberg Technology is there with the news and analysis you need. Every weekday only on Bloomberg.
From New York, let's get you some morning calls. First up, Moffett-Nathanson upgrading Verizon to market perform, seeing an attractive valuation after underperforming its peers. Jefferies upgrading Moderna to a buy, expecting shares to rebound after the company's pipeline opportunities. And finally, Oppenheimer downgrading Tesla to market perform, saying negative Twitter sentiment could become...
Try now, Justin. Let's see.
Tesla up by 2.7%. Coming up, much more on Tesla and Twitter with Dan Ives of Wedbush. Plus, Morgan Stanley's Mike Wilson sounding the alarm on US profits. That conversation up next.
Our default audio monitoring device. Anything yet? No. There's no signal to that. Keep checking. I don't know if it's a I don't know if it's a Discord thing.
We were thinking big from the beginning. I mean, the reason that I was interested in doing this in the first place was a much bigger challenge than making a comfortable shoe or doing something in the fashion industry as a narrow opportunity. We thought that there was a big leadership opportunity. We looked around at an industry where there was 20 billion pairs of sneakers made every single year, and it was 100% made from plastic and the hides from cows, and it was terrible for the environment. And we thought that we could offer something to consumers that was differentiated.
Will be to do with this room because my mic's coming through.
Sustainable materials, and in doing so, we could take a really interesting leadership opportunity and grab that and use that to tell a totally different story and compete on a totally different vector than what the rest in the industry were doing.
Welcome to the world of decentralized finance.
I'm going to take a look right here at regulation.
We are seeing digital currencies under some pressure.
Bloomberg's covering all things crypto. The people.
I want to have some of my money outside of the sovereign.
The transactions.
This is a simple case of where did the money go?
And the technology.
If people wish to invest in it, they must be prepared to lose their money.
I am still very positive on real utility into this space.
Bloomberg.
Here we go. Get ready. Let's see if that's going to dip down anymore.
To me today and knocked upon my door, proclaimed himself my ally, and to protect me.
Is he going to break through that resistance zone?
Trading platform becomes your most powerful ally.
Keep pushing down though.
Things can happen. Join AvaTrade today.
There we go.
New York this Monday morning. Good morning to you all. 3-day losing streak on the S&P trying to bounce back.
Nice push up on US 30.
On S&P 500 futures right now up by 0.04%. On the Nasdaq at the moment up by almost 0.1%. On the S&P, 2 weekly losses. Can we snap that streak?
Brilliant. Grab the sell. Perfect. There's a nice cheeky little win on that open. Look at that. See? Nice manipulation. That sell signal held really well. That was good there. Took 3 trades. Got that sorted. Just had to wait. That's all you got to do. Just wait. Don't be fooled into that resistance level. Let's just see how it plays now. See if it's going to drop down any lower, or it's going to hang on this level of support.
With more than 57% of the participants favouring his resignation. Ed Ludlow on the West Coast with more.
Yeah, good morning, Jonathan. I mean, I've made a
request to
comment to Elon Musk. I've written to him to ask if he's going to follow through with this. He has not responded. Some of the other key names involved as well, we've written to and asked them if they're being serious in their offers to take over the role of leading Twitter, and of course we haven't had any response. We're up 2% on Tesla.
Cool, got another $10 there.
8 of the last 10 sessions as of Friday's close, and was trading at a 3-week low. Also a gain of 1.5% now, John, is nowhere near sort of some of the positivity and exuberance we saw in the pre-market. It was
Let's go to the 1 minute and have a look. There you go. Look, there's your sell on the open, on the 1 minute.
Musk's actions and leadership at Twitter had been harmful to Tesla investors, as you and I have been saying for days and days. I have a sort of sense
so the moment still selling. Just waiting to see if there's going to be any kind of reversal or stall on support. It hasn't broke it, remember, you've got to wait for that candle to finish. Here's the rejection, here's the push up, look.
In the heat of the battle with Twitter, when he was trying to walk away from the deal, that were it to go through, he had always planned to only temporarily lead Twitter as CEO and find someone in the long term. But he's now also tweeting that that person does not exist. That person, no one wants the job that's actually able to keep it alive, are his words. So one to watch.
Ed, we're going to have a longer conversation about this in about 10 minutes. Looking forward to it. Some Tesla bulls are happy about this, including Dan Ives of Wedbush. We're going to catch up with Dan Ives in about 15 minutes time on this program. Looking forward to that as well. Another stock, Meta, hit with antitrust charges. The EU antitrust commissioner
still hanging on that support. Are we going to get a buy?
Facebook users have no choice but to have access to Facebook Marketplace. Abby has more. Hey, Abby.
Hey, John. Well, yes, the EU is continuing to go after Meta platforms. This, of course, after those antitrust watchdogs basically alleged this complaint saying that they...
Brilliant, yes. We've got another cheeky buy, another $10 there, another $10 on the buy. Beautiful.
Social network, so basically a monopoly type charge.
Why? Because we're sat on support. We know it's going to range around. Got 1 minute to go on this candle. Look at it breaking. If this candle on the 1 minute is going to break that 50 moving average, we can go again.
And there you can see that revenue breakdown, that big portion coming out of Europe. What makes this so interesting is the bigger trend here, of course, is the EU's crackdown on U.S. big tech, Apple, Alphabet, Amazon. Now, just a couple
down
weeks ago,
before pushing up again.
Told Meta, EU privacy regulators told Meta that they cannot use content data to provide personalized ads. The stock dropped about 8% on
pushing
that.
back down again.
Meta down about 2%, so not as much.
So let's wait for this candle to finish. We've got 40 seconds left.
Losing a ton of market cap. Meta more than 600
so where this ends is going to be critical to where the big move is. You know, we've just scalped a non-move and we've still made money. And it shows you can do it. We're ranging around the middle of the band on the 1 minute, so it's dangerous time. Just got to wait. 20 seconds left.
So many moving pieces here.
That's a nice rejection, nice buy signal.
Folks going to be interested in Meta? Not today.
Abby, when does tech get a break? When on earth does it get a break?
Yeah, it's hard to know. I think one piece of it could, of course, be yields popping up a little bit today, but with that 10-year yield closer to 3.5%, it provides a little bit of room. But this looming recession, the possibility that profits are going to get hit, it seems as though
rejection at the KG line, maybe. That's what we're going to wait for. That was your open.
Abby, thank you.
Yeah, I'm still on it. I'll switch to, are you on gold? Justin's on gold.
Just a little bit more. What is Senator Warren trying to find out?
Well, I think Senator Warren is trying to find out.
There's your move, look, there's your buy. It's holding that support on the 50 moving average. It's holding.
everyday investor, but as you and I discuss very regularly, the retail investor is not just a key holder of Tesla
Still not
shares,
really
but a
moved
key
yet.
part of the story.
We've made
You know,
money and it hasn't really moved yet. This is what I like.
And in her letter to
Scalping the
board,
range.
you know, she basically points out, has there been harm done? If you look at the performance of Tesla shares since October 28th, when the deal to buy Twitter closed, it has trailed the NASDAQ 100, which is basically flat. Tesla's down in excess of 30%. The S&P 500 down, I think, around 17%.
Yeah, I'm just going to wait for this news event.
Again, John, all I can tell you is that I wrote to Tesla's investor
20 minutes to go.
because there's no mechanism for me to write to.
So I just want to know what US 30 is going to do. Look, is it going to reject this level? It's just messing around on this.
What is Tesla's and the board's reaction to this letter?
On this support level.
Do you agree with what Elizabeth Warren is outlining, that harm has been done to Tesla shareholders because Musk has not been focused on that company?
Those gains fading this morning on Tesla, 150.59. Ed, thank you. That stock is up by 0.2%. Here are some dates for the diary. January 6th payrolls. On the 12th, you get CPI. In January, day after, earnings season really kicks off. The 13th, that's when you get JP Morgan. Mike Wilson of Morgan Stanley thinks it's all about earnings in early next year. This is what he had to say. Rates and inflation may have peaked, but we see that as a warning sign for profitability. A reality we believe is still underappreciated and can no longer be ignored. Mike Wilson, I'm pleased to say, joins us right now. Now, Mike, I couldn't ignore this in the note, and thanks for being with us. When you mentioned 2008, I think you get everyone's attention. You said this: we offer further comparisons to August 2008. Mike, can we start there? What are the comparisons between now and back then?
Let's have a look at gold. Yeah, it's still.
The main one that we're trying to put forth is that our earnings model, which, as you know, we spent a lot of time focused on. The spread between our forecast now and what the consensus is modeling for next year is as wide as we have seen since the summer.
Just a load of red at the moment.
In other words, we're looking for an earnings recession that could be as big of a surprise to the market as it was in 08. Now, what we're not looking for, and I'll make it perfectly clear on this, is a balance sheet recession, a systemic risk fall off like we saw.
Now we've got the buy on the 5 minute.
But it doesn't mean that there's still not a lot of price risk here. Okay, this is where we think we're on a consensus now, and where we have high conviction. So a year ago, it was really about the Fed and the normalization.
Cool, it's got another $10.
Part of our thesis, as you know well, the ICE part is now really kicking in, and there's this sort of presumption out there.
Nice buy signal, nice rejection on US 30, still on US 30. We just broke that level now. Look, pushing. Just waiting for the pullback.
The market typically doesn't know.
Ooh, nice move up.
Before they happen. So that's the
There's the rejection.
If we're right, okay, we have conviction in our view. We could be wrong about that.
Another $5.
And we think that this, rally that we've had, which we identified and then got out of 2 weeks ago, we think that the technical price action last week was confirmation that that rally is not only over, but it's about to exert itself on the downside again in a meaningful way.
Mike, can you explain what's behind that conviction? These are earnings for the quarter we're in right now. This is 4Q to be reported in the first quarter of next year. What's behind that conviction, Mike? What do you see that's developing that maybe other people are missing?
I don't think I see anything that's that different, John. It's just the way we put it together. So remember, our forecast I'm talking about is for the next 12 months. Everybody focuses on this quarter, but the market doesn't care about this quarter's earnings. It never does. It cares about what's going to happen over the next 12 months. That's what the market really focuses on and tries to figure out. In our model, we've got 30 years in history of this thing. It does a really good job of using data that's already out there, mostly top-down data. Some of that's survey data, soft data, as we like to call it.
We've still got the news coming up. That's a nice break. So I'm using the 1 minute now to look for a rejection. It's going to come outside this zone. Still quite a high up here. But we've got resistance here and here, so I'm not entering any more trades at the moment. It's just, there's that nice candle. Look at that, you see. So that was your open, was the rejection, the sell, the manipulation that we scalped, and then bang, here is the buy. And you know it's going to be a buy pretty much because we're sat on that support level for so long. But if you entered a buy with a stop loss here, look, guess what? The market would have taken you out of the trade. That's why we don't do pending orders, and that's why we know the manipulation is going to come. We just wait for the move to happen.
2023 in October. However, now as you start a new year, right, they're compelled to say something because if they don't say anything, then people lose confidence that they know what's going to happen. So I think there is a much higher likelihood that companies acknowledge we already know and what they know. Okay,
And the true move.
We know that things are getting rough out there. You look at corporate confidence. This is one of the things we compared in the note today. CEO confidence is as low as
let's have a look. What's up?
Really in history. So that tells you their confidence level about next year.
Yeah, same as on US 30. It's exactly the same.
In the guidance in January and February, more so than it did in the last couple of quarters when they're not compelled to talk about the 12-month outlook.
Mike, I'm interested in where you think the earnings story may hold up. We caught up with Bank of America's Savita Subramaniam a little bit earlier this morning. She had this to say.
Could be a nice rejection, waiting for a dip back into the zone.
Oil companies have capital discipline. Then she went on to say this about banks. Credit risk may be more evident at venture capital, private equity and long duration
pushing higher
than at regulated banks. Mike, can you speak to that? Just the nature of the downturn you expect in earnings and the parts of the equity market you think will get hit hard.
Got 20 minutes till the news. You see the price action on the 1 minute. Look, you see how the bull runs, retesting. Is it going to dip down? Are we going to get a sell? Is this resistance going to hold?
We've seen 25% revisions to next year's numbers. Now we think it'll continue to be bad because the over-earning was so extraordinary, and that's really the main message in our work, John, is that the margin expectation.
Okay, and we just grabbed another 3 trades there. We got another $10, $12 there. So that's good. There is a rejection, you see. White, so we're back into the zone on RSI. We know that.
Corporate profits. And it was a windfall for investors, and that's all being wrung out now. First with rates, and now
we just got his news to wait for. I just want to see how low this comes down. Let's have a quick look at gold. What Justin's looking at.
The economy, and that has to play through. And I'll push back
yes.
a little bit on the energy piece. I mean, I agree that energy's in a better position than it's been historically.
Yeah, it was a sell on open, 100%. He was already in a sell signal. You're under the 0 line on the MACD. Is this going to come down to 1786 support zone though?
Of 2 or 3 years, the market isn't going to be willing to look through that, and that's generally our take as well. As we think people are being complacent about looking through an earnings recession that's going to be quite severe.
What we can do is we'll have a quick look at gold. Oh, look at that nice rejection on US 30. Look at that, beautiful. Nice pullback.
On the S&P, you're thinking closer to 3K as a bottom for next year?
And John, we've been very consistent.
Let's have a look at gold on the 1 and 5 combined. As you can see, look, we've reached the level of the bands. We're still selling by the looks of it. You don't want to be taking any buys until we're back inside.
Kind of this bearishness in the last 2 months. I mean, the bear market rally we had did its job, right? Its job.
It's a bit messy.
It's like the 3-card Monty. Look over here, and then all of a sudden.
Looks like you should get a pullback.
And then that's when you get surprised.
Pushing up, look, trying to push up.
A finishing move to this bear market. That's the bad thing. The good thing is we're closer to the end than the beginning.
RSI can get back inside the zone.
Well, we've been bullish on bonds since the summer. We were probably a little early.
It's got to break the top of these candles here, look.
I think, that's one thing that's different too this time, John, whereas like in 08, we're not going to have a systemic risk like we had in 08. In our view, anything's possible. That's our general take right now. That's good. However, the Fed cannot be as accommodative, right, as they have been historically because of this underlying inflationary issue, which is new in the investment community for the last 30 years. That's
got a 10 pips back to that, retest that line.
Cavalry come riding in, even in the event of a labor cycle. I think they're going to be slower. They've told us that, and that could be the surprise and why we can get to those lower price levels on the S&P 500.
Mike Wilson, just awesome. This morning and through the whole of this year. Congrats to you and the team. I've said that a few times this year, haven't I, Mike? We appreciate your time this morning. Thank you. Mike Wilson there of Morgan Stanley. Coming up, Twitter users voting against Elon Musk.
Elon's out.
Are just destroying brand value. I think it should give anyone pause.
He did a poll on Twitter. 17 million people voted to say should he stay as CEO of Twitter, and 57% said no. Because obviously people think he's taking the eye off the ball with Tesla, running 2 companies and whatnot. So yeah, I think it. And he did that poll to get Donald Trump back on there as well. Got a sell signal on US 30. Is it going to reject anymore? Brilliant. Grabbed another couple of dollars there. It was a nice cheeky trade, just jumped in on that. I'm running out within like seconds. This is the whole thing. We know we're going to get multiple trades. I mean, I've done like 15-16 trades, so small bits add up to the bigger picture. We've hit our daily TP already. We're well over it. We're 10% over our daily TP for today, so that's good.
So I've been really lucky with 23andMe that it's been endlessly interesting, and I'm surrounded by incredibly talented, brilliant individuals where I learn from them.
Brilliant.
And what I always advise people to do is, like, you should take jobs where you're learning. And if you stop learning in a job, then you should quit. And like, frankly, when people leave 23andMe, like I say, if you're not
nice drop. Look at that. It's going to reject off that 50.
I'm 100%
If it breaks below here, we'll go again. So the price will come all the way back down to where it started on the open.
I want to build out
Just here, look.
consumer empowered healthcare world, like one that is outside of the existing.
On the bigger picture, the 5, there you go. Look. So you know it's going to sit now on our. Is it going to sit on our KG line or break it? And then we're back to support level. So we've had this nice open. I still class this wick as the open. That's the true open. And you know, the manipulation. Here's the true signal of the buy. Not enough momentum in the market to try and get back up to that level at the moment. So we're on the way back down again. Just going to wait for RSI to pop out of the zone. And we can go in for more sales. But we're waiting for the news now. We've got 10 minutes to see this little news event. It's not a major one, but it might just kick things into action. We've traded this many times before. Consensus is going to be slightly better, but it's really under 50 means it's receding. Over 50 means the housing market is solid. So you know, we're still under 50, whatever say. So this could end up pushing the 30 down. Look at that, back down to where we started on the open. So even if you went wrong on the open scalping, your stop loss should have been above the blue zone. You could have held and you'd be back in profit now or break even.
Twitter users voting in favour of Elon Musk's resignation after tweeting out a poll saying, "Should I step down as the head of Twitter?"
There you go.
By the results of this poll. Well, the results giving shares of Tesla a boost in anticipation of Musk shifting his focus back to the firm. Ed Ludlow out of London with more. Hey, Ed.
Yeah, good morning, John. I mean, part of the downward pressure on Tesla shares since October 28th has certainly been the idea of key man risk. By his own admission, Musk has been much more focused on Twitter at times than he has on Tesla. Of course, the other part of the downward pressure.
Beautiful sell. Look at that of US 30. Wow.
Dollars of that stock, in part to kind of shore up his finances in buying the company. You'll remember as well, Bloomberg reported
we're going down
in the last 10 days that some of the unsecured debt lined up to finance that package was swapped out in favor of margin loans secured against potentially Tesla shares or SpaceX shares, though we weren't sure if that actually.
Let's see if it's going to sit on the support.
I think, John, for me, and I love your take on it as well, is, well, if he does step down, what happens to the
yeah, if it breaks the support, I'm just waiting for it to break. We've got a heavy support here at the 32700. Just retesting now, look.
And he said he'll honour the result. He's also said that there is no.
Got 7 seconds left on the 5-minute candle up, so.
That can also do it in a way that keeps Twitter alive.
I think he raises a good question, and it answers yours. Who is that person and where do they come from?
Yeah, it's rejected off it, look, see? Hasn't broke yet.
On and on and on into next year, no doubt.
Yeah, it keeps retesting that support. What's going to happen? We're going to get a break.
Musk's reign as CEO of Twitter will come to an end, and thus be a major positive for Tesla stock, starting to slowly remove this albatross from the story. We remain our outperform rating and ultimately view this as a major step towards going forward, with Musk finally reading the
just retesting that 50 EMA on the 1 minute.
Do we have a leadership problem at Tesla or a macro problem?
I think right now it's really been more of a leadership problem. I think that's been a big overhang on Tesla, not just because of the essentially Musk using Tesla as a personal ATM machine, but it's about the attention focused on Twitter as this twilight zone continues to, go on, and that's really been, I think, 70-80% of the sell-off in Tesla is Twitter driven.
Dan, why do you believe though just replacing him as leader at Twitter changes anything about this story?
Well, I think it's a step in the right direction. It clearly doesn't change the overall story because Musk still owns Twitter. It's going to go down as probably the biggest, I'd say, overpaid M&A deal in the history of tech. But you got to make sure that ultimately you get a pilot on the plane to navigate some of these challenges. That's going to be the key. It's been this black cloud over the Tesla story, but I just view it as at least a small step in the right direction. But the overall train wreck situation at Twitter remains unchanged.
So Dan, let's talk about that just a little bit more. You saw the letter from Senator Warren, I assume, off the back of the New York Times reporting a little bit earlier this morning. Read as follows. In a letter to Tesla's board, the Democratic senator asked whether investors have been harmed by the billionaire tech mogul's time running the social network. Dan, what do you make of that?
I think the biggest overhang on Tesla, as we've talked about many times, is Twitter. I mean, it's a $44 billion
Holmes News is next. That's what we're saying.
By Musk, and I think right now it's really been a quicksand situation.
I'm just holding off.
It's hurt the brand of Musk.
I'm going to see if this Home News is going to break the support level on the 5 minutes. If it does, then we're in for more sales.
Ultimately, the clock struck midnight.
The buy is the recent signal, you see, so you're still in a buy zone. You really would want to be selling it unless it breaks below the second dot, but I might nip in if it breaks below here. If this news event pushes it, we might push it back up, might push it back down. We'll wait and see. Gold has found that level of support, look.
The next 1 to 2 years and beyond that. I mean, Tesla continues to
just there.
Be the massive leader.
1789.
I think it's one of the most transformational companies along with Apple.
Is enough? Look at the RSI. Look, it's just not been green for best part of 6-7 hours. Look, just sells. Just a nice big sell off. No buy there. Reject, sell. Buy, reject, sell. So this could be another little buy signal, then sell again.
The S&P on the Nasdaq down 0.8%. Talked a lot about that bond market. Yields up this morning by 10 basis points on a 10-year to 3.58, on a 2-year up 5 basis points to 4.22 with a sector price action. Here's Abby.
Well, John, that
nice
yield
push
action
up
that you're outlining, it is one piece of the sector action because not surprisingly, some of those high growth, high valuation tech stocks, well, they're on bottom. Tech itself is down almost 1%. Communication services, some of the other mega cap technology names down about 1%. And I believe that the board we're looking at here, actually, I'm not sure what that one not classified is, but in any case, because I saw the minus 13%, we're down 1% for the worst sector. The best sector, though, energy up 0.5%. That has to do, of course, with oil. And then with yields higher, it's interesting that consumer staples, a high dividend yielding sector, it's up. Banks also being helped by yields higher. Now, one subsector that's not doing so well today, casinos down about 2% overall. This, of course, after JP Morgan is saying that the license renewals for Macau could prompt a sell-off. And this has to do, John, with the fact that
is it going to break? It's going to break that level there, really. 1792.
Professional traders who trade full-time for a living do not drive Lamborghini.
Behave. Right. Well, real world retail traders. This is the reality. This is the true reality of scalping. So we'll still wait and see what the news is going to do, if anything. Oh, we've got a nice alert. I think that was for pound dollar, but I'm not looking at that yet. Will do. I've got a buy signal on US 30 now. Gold's rejecting. Just got no power to the upside, is it at all?
It's an easily ignored, change-resistant
US 30s ranging around the 50 EMA on the 1 minute. So again, it hasn't done anything. Just think, we've made money scalping absolutely nothing, really. You know, you zoom out, you'd go, what the hell are we actually trading? But it just shows you when you screw down into it, you can make money from the markets even when it's a range, which is basically all this is. We just had a little manipulation breakout to the downside, a push up to the upside of the support level, and then prices just smashed all the way back down again. So there's been no actual move. Markets are quiet, the news is out there, but if you're a true scalper, there's still, every move can make you money. We're still sat on this support. When it's going to break this zone up. 4 minutes to go.
Bloomberg top experts. Great questions.
Day 4, 4 days of losses on the S&P. We're down 0.4% on the S&P 500. On the Nasdaq, we're down by 0.75%. The backdrop in the bond market, yields up right the way through the curve. 2s out to 30s, yields high by 5 basis points on a 2-year, 4.22.
Everything's bearish again.
By 10 basis points.
Pushing down and up.
As the price action is the trading diary. The White House holding its daily news conference 2:30 Eastern. Earnings from Nike, FedEx on Tuesday, plus a BOJ rate decision and US housing starts. Existing home sales and consumer confidence coming.
That's the one we trade Wednesday. And jobless claims Thursday. And Michigan consumer sentiment on Friday. That's our final trade before Christmas.
To round out the week on Friday from New York. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you for giving us the heads up. Right, 3 minutes to go. And again, US 30 is just not doing anything. We could have scaled this multiple times, but we want to wait for this news. Oh, God. I know, 2 minutes, I know. It's getting dark here as well in London. We're only about an hour away from the sun going down. It's crazy. So that doesn't help. It's been constantly raining here for 2 days. It's like, was minus. The temperature's gone up. They reckon the temperature's going to go back up to 10, 11 degrees. So, which will be good. It's been minus for the last week, 10 days or so. Right, we've got a minute to go. We're going to count down in a minute.
Military power has been growing at an incredible speed over the last 20 years.
A strong country must have a strong military.
Like I say, this news might not do anything. It might be a catalyst to start something, it might not. It's only a medium impact, but sometimes the mid ones can actually do something. But you see there, look, that range, this is in the 1 minute, you see, it just tells you. So when we're trading either the top or the bottom, it just tells you price is just going sideways, and we know it is. We took our bits of momentum on the open. Now we're literally waiting for the next move, if there is one. And gold's pretty much doing the same. They're going to reject on the KG. Or is it finally going to break it? We haven't got a buy signal yet. Here we go, 30 seconds. This housing market index will also affect gold as well, remember everybody, so pick whichever one you want to trade it on. I'm going to go back in on US 30 hopefully. Let's see. 7 seconds.
Bloomberg Wall Street Week live tonight with replays all weekend on Bloomberg Television and Radio.
Let's have a look. $31, so it's worse than expected. Let's see if we get a push down. Yay, we did. There we go. Cool, we've got another $10 there. Another 3 trades positions, in and out, not messing around. As that was worse than expected. I'll just print that result. That's what we do. Ride the wave of the momentum.
Marketing disasters in history, mainly because of a human error that led Pepsi to print more winning caps than they planned. The resulting chaos caused riots, civil unrest, and even deaths. Reporting this story,
So should have been a sell on US 30
and it resulted in me flying to Manila in the Philippines.
or buy on gold. It's rejected.
My name is Jeff Maish. I'm a journalist based in Los Angeles. I wrote the story for Bloomberg Businessweek about Pepsi's number fever campaign. The Philippines is a really interesting country. It's made up of thousands of islands. And it's also a country that's very heavily influenced by America. American culture is everywhere you look in the Philippines. They're obsessed with Frank Sinatra music, for example. They love all things American, and that extends to their love for soft drinks, Pepsi Cola, Coca-Cola.
A rejection on that Holmes News now. Wow. Gold tanking again. Look at that. It's going to break. You got a buy signal, but is it going to reject and pop back up? Again, look, US 30 just not doing anything. Still.
Number fever was already a really popular promotion.
Is it going to finally break to the downside? And we're going to get some more trades.
Decided to roll it out internationally, particularly in Asia. They thought it was the answer to their problems. They thought it could
Still watching it. If it's just going to range around like this, that's going to be it. Until later on. I won!
$1 million pesos, or $68,000, doesn't sound like a lot now, but in 1992, that was a phenomenal amount of money.
You can see here, same chart, we're just waiting to see if there's going to be a movement or not on the industrial, or whether this is just going to be a sideways afternoon. Push up look after that rejection.
Kids were saving up their pocket money to buy a bottle of Pepsi.
Yeah.
Squirreling away all of the bottle caps in bags. You would walk down the street and people were going through trash trying to find a bottle cap. It was a national phenomenon. Pepsi boasted that half the population of the Philippines was number fever boosted Pepsi sales every month from $10 million to $14 million. It had a huge impact on Pepsi's bottom line. Number fever quickly became number hysteria. Maids were being jailed for stealing their employers' winning bottle caps. There was even some murders over winning bottle caps. People were fighting in the streets over these caps. There were signs that there were going to be problems with number fever very early.
Just ranging around at the moment, isn't it? Pushing back down.
Had caused some kind of problem with the winning number. They'd announced the wrong one in Chile, causing riots. There were signs that there could be big problems ahead if they didn't keep their eye on the ball. So in 1992, Pepsi decided to extend the campaign in the Philippines, and they announced that the competition would go on for a few more weeks. One night, on the television news, they announced the latest winning number, 349. The problem was, 349 had already been allocated as a non-winning number in earlier campaigns.
Just watching this move.
Hundreds of thousands of bottle caps with 349 just floating around the Philippines. Hundreds of thousands of people all across the Philippines, thousands of islands, were finding winning bottle caps. 349, 349. Some people had 10 lucky 349 bottle caps. People were dancing in the street, celebrating. They thought their problems were over. They were millionaires. It's still not certain exactly how many winners there were of lucky 349 bottle caps, but we know that Pepsi printed over 600,000 of them. Pepsi realized very early that there was a problem. Hundreds of people started arriving at their bottling plants with their lucky bottle they realised something was seriously wrong. Pepsi tried to solve the problem by offering a small token donation to anyone.
Here's that push down. Look, it's going to break this zone that we're in, so we're still waiting. Beautiful. Look at that level of support on the 1 and the 5. Got a sell signal now. Look, it is going to push through.
Would leave dozens injured and 5 people dead. At one Pepsi factory in the Philippines, a grenade was thrown through the window.
Gold's doing exactly the same. Looks ranging around. This is Christmas trading. I got another couple of dollars on the sell, so.
She was one of the tragic victims of this whole thing. She was walking to a nearby store to buy some rice one day when a Molotov cocktail was thrown at a Pepsi truck in a violent protest. It bounced under the truck and exploded. It killed her and an innocent bystander who was just a child and injured many others. When I was in the Philippines, I tracked down Anacita's daughter, Cindy, and her husband, Raul. It was clear to me that they were still very upset by the whole thing. You know, the family had been ripped apart by this competition. And Raul told me that he'd never remarried. He'd told me that he'd gone to meet Pepsi executives after his...
Just rejecting off that zone every time.
He was angry. He said to them, you know, this wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for you.
Now pushing up. So again, he's got to wait. Wait. I think we're going to leave that alone for the time being. So we'll look at gold then. What's gold going on? There was your Holmes news.
I found a newspaper report with a headline that said Pepsi goons bomb their own trucks. And when I visited the MBI, the police department in
It's a real mess, isn't it? There's just no momentum on this at all. What do you need it? What do you need it to get back to?
I just thought that was so shocking, and of course Pepsi denied it, but how bizarre that a company would be accused of bombing their own trucks. The contest had sparked so much anger in the Philippines because it landed at just this really weird time in the Philippines history. It was during a crazy election that was racked with allegations of fraud. The Philippines was in a kind of love-hate relationship with America. They loved, obviously, the American aid and finances that was pouring into the country, but at the same time they yearned for independence. They wanted to be their own country. Vicente Del Fierro was a local preacher living in Manila, and he hated the Number Fever campaign. Del Fierro thought Pepsi's Number Fever campaign was just one of the many ways that America was asserting its dominance over a third world country. He hated seeing his fellow countrymen get ripped off, in his eyes, by this huge multinational American company. He wanted justice. Del Fierro rounded up over 800 winners of 349 bottle caps, and he got them all together to sue Pepsi for over $400 million to be divided between those holders of lucky bottle caps. Del Fierro took money from some of the people who could afford it. They paid him 500 pesos to help with legal fees, but for people who couldn't afford the money, he would just represent them.
Yes. Just messing around with the settings again. I know. I'll jump in if I see one with you.
He hired 2 consumer lawyers here in America to take on Pepsi. He had a meeting at Pepsi's headquarters to try and resolve the problem, but he said he wanted to take it all the way to the highest courts in America. When those cases were heard in America, those courts decided that this was a problem that should be heard in the Philippines, not in one stage, there were arrest warrants handed out for 9 Pepsi-Cola executives, which he saw as a big victory. We don't know if those arrest warrants were ever upheld, but it made newspaper headlines across the country. Pepsi did not take kindly to Del Fiero's campaign. They tried everything to shut him down. They sued him for libel.
My father had to attend 3 times a month for a branch 145 and another hearing for the branch 139 also 3 times a month. Also, there was a time my father was hospitalized due to heart failure. Still, he had to
Right, yeah, oh, talk now, Justin.
Otherwise, for not attending the judge.
Ah, right, okay. Yeah, so you're not coming through on input on Discord for some reason. I am automatic sensitivity, but when you talk it's not.
PepsiCo will be remembered for what they did to the consumer in the Philippines and to my father.
When I reached out to Pepsi for comment for this story, they claimed that they didn't have access to anyone who was working at Pepsi that was around in those days. They also said that during COVID-19 they didn't have access to their documents about this, but you know, they were very careful to say that they were sorry for everything that happened, and we do know that Pepsi did try everything to try and make this right. The Pepsi number fever disaster cost the company millions. We know that they paid up to $10 million in those goodwill payments, but the financial effect could be much greater. After the disaster, we know that Pepsi sales dipped. They were overtaken by Coca-Cola again. Pepsi's number fever disaster changed the legacy of that soft drink in the Philippines forever. Some people of a certain age won't touch it. For many people, Pepsi is a taboo word. A lot of the people that I spoke to were still quite traumatized by their experience, by that experience of winning $1 million pesos, losing it, and then returning to their normal life in poverty in Manila.
The future came to me today and knocked upon my door, proclaimed himself my ally, and to protect me forevermore. When your trading platform becomes your most powerful
Still waiting.
wonderful things can happen. Join AvaTrade today.
Yeah, I got it at 1789.
When the news of
Yeah.
the bombing came out, it was a massive storm in Germany.
We are following some breaking news coming to us out of Dortmund in Germany.
It was covered by all the media outlets.
3 roadside explosions triggered at the same time last night as a coach left its hotel in the south of Dortmund.
Brilliant.
Public figures commented on it.
We should not let them affect our life, whoever it was.
The media echo went far beyond Dortmund.
I think it was front page news, every single big paper around here. Everyone thought of like terrorist attack, and people were scared that throughout the city in Dortmund there was more attacks to be happening.
Unbeknownst to investigators, just after the bomb went off and the
Yeah.
players of the team were shell-shocked, the person who had masterminded the attack was actually sitting in the hotel eating steak and sweet potatoes. My name is Thomas Rogers. I'm the journalist who wrote the article, The Get-Rich-Quick Scheme That Nearly Killed the German Soccer Team. Dortmund is a mid-sized city in the western part of Germany in a state called North Rhine-Westphalia. And it's a former industrial city that's kind of fallen on hard times in the last few decades. It was severely bombed in the war. So the center of the city is quite stark.
name is Ike Henning. I'm a reporter
Yeah.
at Bloomberg News, and I'm a great fan of Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund fans are super loyal. On all match days, the entire city is in black and yellow. It's like a religion.
I think more than most German cities, soccer does play a very large role in the identity of Dortmund. In October of 2000, the BVB became the first team in the Bundesliga to actually go public. Salaries for soccer players in the Bundesliga have gone up very dramatically. With such high prices, they thought that by going public, they would be able to compete better with big teams like Bayern Munich.
Unfortunately, that didn't go too well. Dortmund bought too many
Yeah.
expensive players, high wages, and the club almost went bust in 2005.
The price of their shares, it has.
It's a good look at that. It's breaking now.
Since they made that decision. So on April 11th, 2017, the team was staying in a hotel on the outskirts of Dortmund.
Match days are always special in Dortmund. Everyone is looking forward to it. The team always meets in the same hotel ahead of matches.
They stayed in this hotel in order to have a kind of neutral space before games so that they could concentrate, be sort of isolated from distractions, things like
How high is it going to go?
Everyone was pretty optimistic they had a chance to go really far, maybe.
Hey, I got $5 there. Thank you. Just on that little move, I got that cheeky little move on gold there. I'll just post it to show that I wasn't lying. There you go. There it is. Look. Oh God. Hold on. Something wrong.
When the bus took off the parking lot of the hotel and turned on the street, there were three detonations, 3 bombs.
Thanks to that little move. Once the wick gets exposed like that, look.
Occurred close to the Borussia Dortmund team bus. The B team bus had just left the hotel. The explosions destroyed 2 windows in
These are going to push up. These are going to break that.
People screamed, people jumped to the ground.
A fellow Dortmund fan I was supposed to watch the match with, he called me and said, turn on the TV, there was an attack of the Dortmund bus, and I thought he was like, that was impossible.
Some of the players screamed at the
1 minute 24 left.
as fast as possible because they were worried that people might storm the bus.
German investigators say the explosive devices used in the attack on the Borussia Dortmund bus contained metal pins. The one had pierced a seat headrest.
Yeah, beautiful.
To the team members, the actual mastermind behind the attack was, as they were disembarking the bus, they were actually eating steak and sweet potatoes at the hotel they had just left.
Authorities were attempting to verify a letter left at the scene claiming jihadists were behind the attack.
Because there had been a series of attacks by Islamic terrorists in Germany and Europe, there was widespread suspicion in the media that this was another Islamic terror attack. 3 letters were found at the site of the bombing that took credit for the attack on behalf of Islamic State. There were, however, reasons to doubt this particular narrative.
Would actually be a surprise if ISIS were actually part of this attack. Possibly could be employed by other groups like the far right wing to try and shift the blame.
The letters had some strange qualities. They were written in a strange German that used big, sophisticated words, but had basic grammar mistakes, as if someone was native German speaker but pretending to be a foreign person.
Federal investigators have detained 1 man suspected of links to Islamist terrorism, one of 2 suspects whose apartments were raided this morning.
Shortly after the bombing, a man in Austria named Rudolf, who was a big BVB fan, he noticed that something.
It's a nice move. Is it going to reject now? Or is it going to push? There's your green dot. There's your 1. RSI is just going to poke out now, look.
Forwarded that email on to investigators. The email stated that someone had bought 60,000 BVB put options, a wager that the value of the shares of the team would fall below a certain amount at a certain point.
What's it doing on the 1 minute? Let's have a look. That's what I was looking. US 30 decided to make a break to the top side as well. Look, look at that. Look, see, yeah. Look at that. Nice push up.
And it wouldn't just be the team losing a match, it would require something much bigger than that. There was another big red flag about this purchase, which is the fact that it had actually been made, number one, on the day of the bombing, but also from an IP address that had been traced to the actual hotel.
When 3 explosions targeted the bus carrying the Borussia Dortmund footballers on April the 11th, written notes.
Yeah, now it's hitting that heavy resistance gold. Look.
The truth, as is now alleged, is remarkable.
Is it going to reject off it?
Police arrested a man in a southern German city called Tübingen. He was on his way to work, and his name was Sergei Benagod. He seemed like an unlikely suspect because he had no known connections to the Islamic terror world. He didn't seem like a far-right extremist. He didn't seem like a left-wing extremist either. He seemed to be a completely unremarkable young man.
A 28-year-old German-Russian man, named only as Sergei W., stayed in the same hotel as the players on the night before the bombing.
Will it reject?
Upper room, overlooking the bushes where the explosive devices were hidden.
The media dissected why he would do that, what was his past.
He had been inspired by the 2015 terror attack in Paris, and he noticed that in the aftermath of the attack, the stocks of French companies went down, and he believed that if an attack took place that was directed at a specific company, that the decrease in stock price for that company would be...
There's your heavy resistance.
It never occurred to anyone that someone would do that out of greed.
We now know that the suspect bought 3 different derivatives on the Borussia Dortmund shares. With all these derivatives, he bet on falling shares. The suspect bought the majority of these financial products on the 11th of April, the day of the attack.
If the plot had been completely successful and the stock had reached a value of 0, Benagod would have made up to 570.
Well done, well done. Yeah, well done.
Ultimately, the plan completely backfired.
The attacker, Sergei Benagod, didn't make any money. In fact, he lost money.
In court, he would be extremely quiet. He
Well done.
usually kept his hands clasped together. One of the lawyers actually commented that he had never seen a defendant act so...
Yes, that's it. Just had to hold.
Served some time in the German military. From that information and from online research, he was able to figure out how to assemble remote detonated bombs that would do...
Yeah, stick in the results.
There were a few days of extremely emotional testimony, including the soccer players who described doubting whether or not they could ever play another game again.
It brought everything back up, and it didn't quite help them to kind of process what was going on.
Throughout it all, he sat there completely silent. The big mystery that was swirling around the trial was the question of why he may have simply done it because he wanted to impress a woman. Rebecca is a young woman who has a very troubled life. She ultimately sees her relationship with Benagod as an opportunity to leave that troubled home. Benagod is a Russian immigrant to Germany. He speaks with an accent. He has anxiety in large groups of Germans. She begins to resent the fact that he has these fears and feels a little bit trapped. Rebecca attempts to dump him on multiple occasions, and he threatens to commit suicide if she leaves him. Benagod apparently...
Yeah, that's what you want. Perfect.
After being dumped via text message...
Just seeing if US 30 is going to reject off here, look.
Benagod was charged with 28 counts of attempted murder, which carried a maximum sentence in Germany of life imprisonment. He claimed that he had nothing to do with the attack, but as time went on, he admitted that he had actually been the person who had built the explosives and had set them off. But he claimed that he didn't want to actually kill anyone.
Nice rejection, not coming again. Look off that, beautiful. US 30, yeah, just looking at it now, look. Just dropping in the pocket. That's it.
The threat of an asteroid hitting Earth.
Yeah, it's pushing down now, isn't it? Look at that.
If it's big enough, it's also very final.
These are very, very infrequent events. The probability is not zero, though.
A blinding flash of light streaking across the sky.
About 100 tons of space rock falls on Earth every day. Most of it is so small it burns up in our atmosphere or lands unnoticed away from major populations. No human in the past 1,000 years is known to have been killed by a meteorite. And according to NASA,
Oh, that's good.
no large object
Yeah, that's
is
good.
likely to strike the Earth any time in the next several hundred years. However, one thing is certain. We haven't found them.
Yeah.
There are thousands out there who don't know where they are.
Look at that rejection, look on gold, look beautiful.
Scientists all over the world are working toward detecting
How low is it going to go?
reflecting the most catastrophic of natural disasters.
The race is on to find as many of these objects as we can.
We have a way of calculating whether or not an asteroid is potentially dangerous or not.
I mean, I think it's something worth investing in.
Yeah.
It's our existence at stake, right?
Hello. It's going to come down. This will come down. Yeah.
But how scared should we be?
Asteroids and comets are a natural.
It's going to come down to there now, isn't it? Look at that. Look at it pushing.
Hazards. These are very, very infrequent events, these collision events, where an object actually impacts the Earth. The most important thing that we need to know about asteroids is when the next impact is going to happen and how bad it will be. What we know is that an object that's about, say, a kilometer across is capable of causing very, very wide devastation across the planet, really truly global devastation. The object that wiped out the dinosaurs was somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 to 10 kilometers across, so even bigger than that. At a kilometer, it's still going to be very
Let's watch this.
will have global effects. For objects that are capable of causing what I would call sort of regional damage, kind of a large major metropolitan area, a city and its surrounding environments, sort of around 100-ish meters. It depends on the details of the composition and so forth.
By the 1980s, NASA was cataloguing near-Earth objects.
Yes.
In 1994, stargazers watched as comet Shoemaker-Levy 9 hit Jupiter. The resulting zone of chaos was estimated to be as large as the
Yeah,
Earth.
that's what you're looking for, isn't it?
Became a turning point in the search for asteroids and comets in our solar system. In 1998, Congress tasked NASA with finding 90% of asteroids and comets 1 kilometer wide or larger. Soon after, Hollywood blockbusters Armageddon and Deep Impact brought attention and fear to the masses.
End of this candle.
The great news is that the vast majority, more than 90% of all the really large 1 kilometer near-Earth objects have been found. The challenge now is working down to these smaller sizes that are still quite capable of causing a lot of damage, but they're just harder to spot because they're fainter and they're smaller.
Can you give us a sense of how many are out there in our solar system?
We know that there are a lot of asteroids in our solar system. They number in billions.
Yeah.
Most of them, however, are between Mars and Jupiter in what we call the main asteroid belt. This is a region of space where most of the asteroids in the inner part of our solar system live, and they stay there for many billions of years. There is another population there that kind of leaks inward and gets into the region somewhat close to the Earth, and we call these near-Earth objects. We think that there are millions and millions of near-Earth objects that are out there in the total population. As of today, we know of sort of around 20, 25,000, something like that. When we first spot an object, we really know very little about it. We just see something moving across the sky. So what you get is just sort of a
Might well do. If it breaks the KG line. Just withdrawing the money out of the account for today. Thank you. Done.
Based on relatively small amounts of data. NASA runs simulations of the trajectories asteroids can take, which is useful but time-consuming. A team of scientists in the Netherlands have found a way to buy us more time.
Our method is very quick, so you can very quickly get an assessment of whether or not the object is dangerous or not. If you look at the
Told you, look, it's going to break. If it's going to break, US 30. So look at US 30. There's the rejection on US 30.
to determine this hazardousness.
The current problem is that there's just too many asteroids out there.
Nicely pulled back off that level.
Computational power on all of them. So the neural network allows us to focus on what really could go and pose a hazard to Earth.
A neural network is a computing system that mimics
Where's
the
that
way
pushed
the
down?
brain operates to find underlying relationships in a set of data.
By training the network in this way, you train it in recognizing those objects that are most likely to hit the planet. And once it's trained, you can apply this network to all the unknown asteroids, and then you can make a selection and say, hey, these are the ones which appear to be having orbits similar to the ones which we know are hitting the planet. That doesn't mean that they do, but it only means that they look very similar to the ones.
Hey, that'll be pound dollar. I need to look at that. Let's just switch to cable. Yeah, it says the sell on cable. So there was basically it came up. Look at that. There was your trade. If you entered there, you would have hit TP on the New York line. Look at that. Perfect. It would have been 13 pips. Totally missed it. My fault. No FOMO though. That was perfect. And it's rejected. Look at that. There's your buy. Bang, all the way to the NY line. Perfect. Wonder if we can get any more sales on this. On US 30, just rejecting down here. Look. Yay, got another cheeky $5. That'll do. Beautiful, beautiful. I like it when I see that rejection. We want to see for the MACD dots really. You'll want to be back in the zone, so you're not going to get a bounce up. That's still a good 200 points to the downside. Let's watch see if RSI creeps back in that zone as well.
When it comes to hunting asteroids, time is critical.
That's a good day. Right, well I am going to go and get some food after that. Good scalping. Let's have a quick look at everything. It says no more news until tomorrow now. Well, we've got the building permits and housing starts, so we'll have a look at that. Like I say, watch pound dollar. It's going to range around a little bit now, looks like. US 30 is rejecting off that level, could well do the same kind of thing now. That should have been the sell entry. Look at that there, you see. As soon as we start sell signal on the 1 minute, bang, that's when you should have been in. And then back out again, waiting as it rejects and plays around that resistance level. And then obviously yeah, it came down, it broke KG, but now it's sat on that 1791. So we'll see if it goes down here. We've got one red dot, it needs to be out of the chart, so yeah, just trade safe everybody, and we'll be back. We might do another late night stream, end of New York session one night this week. Otherwise we'll be live trading again after Christmas. Obviously the period between Christmas and New Year is a no trade zone, that's holiday period, and we'll be back fresh in January, and we'll be launching Axe version 2, and we'll be offering different mentorship packages if you want to learn to do the real world trading like we do. True scalping we call it. You know, this is focused trading, you know, in and out, momentum based, news led, and market open led, and love trading manipulation. That's what we're all about. So obviously go to the website www.mohawkforex.com if you want to become part of the team and have me and Justin mentor you. But we will be back. Like I say, we might do a cheeky live stream towards the end of the week as markets tighten up, and if not, like I say, we will see you all in January 2023, and we hope will be a better year than this year for everybody. So until then everybody, look after yourself, take care, and we will see you very soon. Take care.